dust will day. That is a quality of life issue. Winds out of the east means it's a good day to breathe if you live on my side of the road. And we better go ahead and barbecue that chicken before the wind shifts. And don't forget to take a towel because you know there's a thick layer of dust on the grill and the bench. These are quality of life issues that are avoidable. In addition to quality of life issues, chip seal roads can lower property value due to their appearance and rougher surface compared to asphalt. It may be perceived as less desirable by buyers, potentially leading to lower property appraisals and a decreased return on investment for the homeowner. This is an issue that affects everyone that lives on the road. If economics dictates that we have to use chip seal near housing, then I believe it should be meticulously applied according to best practices so we get the most performance, durability, and appearance for our money. It's a fairly simple process that involves just a few steps. For those not familiar, it begins by cleaning the existing pavement and filling potholes and cracks, then spraying hot liquid asphalt adhesive evenly across the surface, then spreading crushed stone or gravel using a chip spreader. Stopping at this step may be appropriate in some areas, though the job will not be done according to best practices, and the road will not last as long as it could if the next steps are not completed. For residential areas where housing is close to the roadway, the next two steps are essential, I think, to protect property values, quality of life, and a healthy breathing environment. The next step, road rollers, are used to embed the stone into the asphalt layer. The adhesive then requires a couple days to cure, during which time limited traffic is recommended. None of the information I was able to access recommended running vehicles over the new layer at 40 to 60 miles an hour to compact or cure. Perhaps a better option would be to close the road, open for local traffic only, and lower the speed limit to 25 for a couple days as the compacted mixture cures, resulting in less dust for sure and a better, longer lasting road service, according to the experts. The fifth step, after curing, the surface is swept to remove excess stones. Some installations include a fog seal, a light application of asphalt top coat for added sealing and dust control. That it even exists indicates that after compaction and after sweeping, dust is still an issue. My opinion is that chip seal should not be used in close proximity to houses unless a top coat is going to be applied to accomplish near zero amounts of fog. Whether visible to the naked eye or not, we should not be subjected to breathing it every day and having our most expensive possessions coated with it. Now, I have just one more pass out here. I want to get out to everyone. If you would take one and pass them around. I only have 6 for
That's fine.
for here, but if you would pass these back, take one and pass them on back the aisle. Make interesting reading. You get the gist of them pretty quickly. Besides the dust, or besides the dirt and the filth and the look of it, the material safety data sheet for limestone indicates that airborne limestone dust is a category 1A carcinogen, label H350. 1A carcinogen refers to substances that have been classified as carcinogenic to humans. Carcinogens are categorized into different groups based on the strength of evidence, with 1A being the most definitive category for human carcinogens. H350 is a commercial labeling designation for dangerous materials. The specific target organ toxicity for a single exposure, what they're talking about is the respiratory and lungs. With a single exposure is rated a category 3, H335, which indicates symptoms normally abate within 21 days. A single exposure, depending on length and intensity of the dose, can cause respiratory tract irritation. Substances classified under this category can cause irritation to the respiratory system, which may impair function and lead to symptoms such as coughing, shortness of breath, and other respiratory issues. It also can cause narcotic effects. These substances may induce central nervous system depression, resulting in symptoms like drowsiness, dizziness, impaired coordination, and reduced alertness. With repeated exposure, it's classed as a category 1. Substances classed as category 1, specific target organ toxicity, are subject to strict regulatory controls due to their potential to cause serious health effects. It causes skin corrosion and irritation and serious eye damage and eye irritation. This dust is no joke. It's a big no-no for people or animals, and we should not be creating limestone fog around houses where we're going to be exposed to it every day. How much of it do you want to breathe in? Right? None. Would you mind breathing it in every day if you couldn't see it? I don't want to. And it's totally preventable. Saving the road is great. I understand the sentiment behind it and sympathize with the economics of having to use chip seal instead of asphalt. I understand the frustration of performing with limited funds and crew. However, what is the sense in saving the road and simultaneously damaging property values, impairing health, and lowering the quality of life when doing the job right avoids all these problems? In the long term, if we're going to save money and use this chip seal on our roads, let's budget so the job can be done correctly. And if we need to stretch the rotation a year or two to do it right, I think we should. It will still be cheaper than blacktop, and with proper maintenance will last longer than not doing it right. Hopefully, the next road levy will pass, and the one after that, and the one after that. What I would like to see happen in the near term is fix EB Road and eliminate the fog. The road seriously needs swept and top coated as soon as possible, and maybe closed to through traffic for a day while that top coat cures. And then in the future, let's find a better way to move forward. And that's all I have. Hopefully, this is an issue the trustees can come up with a positive solution for. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything extra to add to the EB Road? I'll just say that we are limited on our road budget. Chip sealing is the most cost-effective way to save the road where it's cracking and sealed. I know the purpose for doing this is to seal it up and protect it for winter, and protect it for years to come. You can get 5 to 10 years out of a road. Years ago, last time we ran a levee, which has been 5-6 years ago, it lost by a lot. It would have taken 70, I'd figured it at the time, somewhere around 70 years for us to repave all of the township responsible roads at the time. And based on the economic situation, it's probably 100 if we were to use our road budget strictly for repaving. So that's the reason we have to chip seal different places. And it is unfortunate, but with our budget, that's the way we have to maintain.
I totally understand having to use chip seal to save money. Federal money doesn't flow to states. States don't flow money to counties, and counties don't flow money to townships and cities like they used to. But if we're going to use chip seal, I think we need to do a better job of it and not subject the property and people to dust that we're getting.
Let me ask our road supervisor, Jeremy, is it, coming out to sweep the road?
Yes, they're coming. They're supposed to be out this week to re-sweep
Sweep.
V Road and Stiver Road.
I think the one thing that hasn't been brought up is the drought. I mean, a couple of good rains will get rid of that dust. Hasn't happened this year, unfortunately.
Well, actually, if you
Good one.
review the pictures, they show the first two pictures were before this, the rest of the pictures were after rain, after a couple of days of rain. It doesn't go away. It stays there and clings and has to be scrubbed off. So everything is covered with it. You saw all my wrought iron is covered with it, my fence posts, you name it. I mean, it's covered with this stuff and rain doesn't wash it off. It sinks in the rain and it pools and it stays there. That's a mess. I mean, we need to do better.
All right. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Nobody else on EV Road. We'll go ahead and move to the, his hands drug rehab facility. Does anybody would like to make a comment on? Just state your name for the record.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Israel McIntosh, and I have property in German Township. Also, my mother lives in the township as well. Our family has lived there approximately since 1986, so we didn't just move in recently. We've been here for a while. A little bit of a backstory. In late 23, early 24, there was a property that changed ownership from a private individual owner to a nonprofit organization by the means of a quitclaim deed. The property consists of two parcels of land. One is 3.7 acres, 3.07 acres, and the other is 23.61 acres. Both properties are currently zoned agricultural, cash grain, and general farm. Sometime in 2024, there was a sign that was displayed on the property identifying the property as His Hope Challenge the Farm. There was some activity during 2024 and a little bit in 2025 where vehicles were coming in and out of the property. Recently, in the last couple of weeks, we had a conversation with an individual who was working at the property and had ties to the organization, and was told that in the future, their plans for the property was to erect cabins and turn it into a residential rehab facility for men who are fighting addiction. It will be modeled after a similar facility that is part of their network called Cincinnati Challenge Ranch, which is located in Milford, Ohio. A little bit of the history about the organization. It's called His Hope Challenge. It's a nationally ran nonprofit organization, and they have kind of like sub chapters off the main organization. It was started in 1958 by a gentleman named Reverend David Wilkerson in New York City. Locally, His Hope Teen and Adult Challenge was started in Miamisburg in 2015. A gentleman named Russell Toadvine is the executive director for this particular chapter. His Hope also currently owns 4 locations in Miamisburg and the one here in German Township. Many of these properties have been rezoned. They were originally zoned residential and have been rezoned to hospital and homes aged. And are classified now as charity exempt, which greatly decreases the amount of tax revenue that each property is charged. Currently, 3 of the 4 locations are residential facilities where they actually house people, with the remaining location being a church / meeting area. And this is per their website. They are a residency facility that serve men who are 18 and older and have been sober for at least 30 days. The patient must volunteer for treatment and cannot be court ordered. The residency lasts approximately 9 months, but can be extended further if the resident chooses to remain in the facility. And they have the program is structured into 4 phases. Phase 1 lasts 14 to 30 days. Phase 2, approximately 4 months. Phase 3 is a minimum of 4 months. And then when you enter phase 4, it has no time limit. But basically, the patient becomes a mentor at that point and is working for the organization. His Hope residents are monitored but not supervised, so it's not a lockdown facility. They can kind of come and go as at will. In phase 4, the residents are eligible for work weekend passes, so they can leave on Friday, so, Friday evening, come back and check back in on Sunday evening. Some of the concerns, I've spoke to some of the residents that live in the close proximity of the property. And, they all seem to have a lot of the similar concerns. First off, they have expressed that they like a rural farm setting and, the community, that they really don't want to change that by allowing what is basically a commercial or industrial business into the township, which by definition, it is a commercial based, business. In the past, I know residents have spoke out in opposition against proposed landfills, county water rezoning, which was adopted from Liberty Township, which is not comparable to German Township in the fact that Liberty Township is commercial, and predominantly in an industrial business setting and not a rural farm setting and a residential setting. Most recently, there was opposition, I know, in the last year over solar fields being built in the township. So residents have been pretty consistent with their feeling about introducing these types of businesses into the township. Some of the other concerns are the possibility of a rise in crime in the township and also the potential of decreasing property values associated with this facility. And I've got a comparison of kind of the crime rate between Germantown and Miamisburg. And I'll kind of go through that and I'll tie that in at the end here. Overall, Germantown has a crime rate of a B minus. It's 55% safer than most of the other towns in the nation. Miamisburg has an overall crime rate of a D plus. It is 30% safer than most. So there's quite a difference there. As far as violent crimes, Germantown, they had a grade of A. Miamisburg also had a grade of A. The annual rate was 17.2 for 100,000 residents. That's just a baseline they use to kind of compare the two because there are a pretty big difference in the population. But on the other hand, Miamisburg had a 35.5, which is twice the rate. National average is 106. Germantown is 83.8 below the national average. Miamisburg is 66%. Total incidents for Germantown is 313, and this was a 5-year period from 2019 to 2023. Miamisburg was 902, so almost 3 times as high for violent crime. Property crimes, grade A for Germantown, grade D for Miamisburg. Annual rate 103.4. Miamisburg was 202.9, almost double. The national average was 163. Germantown was 36.8% below the national average. Miamisburg is 24% above the national average. Total incidents for Germantown was 245 from 2019 to 2023. Miamisburg was 1,684. That's 6 times as many than Germantown in that same time period. Larceny, which falls under the category of theft. Germantown had a grade A. Miamisburg fell at grade C. Annual rate, 68.9 for Germantown, 116.7 for Miamisburg. Germantown was 59% below the average, national average. Miamisburg was 0.1%. So they were pretty close to the national average, which is 1.5 times higher. Total incidents, 196 from 2019 to 2023 for Germantown, 1,285, 6.5 times the amount for Miamisburg. This one here kind of, I was kind of surprised at this one. Motor vehicle theft, Germantown received a D. Miamisburg received an F. Annual rate, 34.5 for Germantown, 35.5 for Miamisburg. National average, Germantown was 63% above and Miamisburg was about the same. But here's a little bit of the tail of the tape. From 2019 to 2023, Germantown had 13, Miamisburg had 173 vehicle thefts in that same time frame. So that's 13 times more incidents of car theft. A little bit of the crime breakdown.
We're comparing it to Miamisburg just because that's where he's.
Well, I'll tie this in. So the crime breakdown from 2019, there were 767 incidents in Germantown. Miamisburg, there was 4,364. It's 5 times more incidents. And then also I found on the crime cost, this is based on criminal justice, law enforcement courts, jail, direct cost to victims, lost economic contributions from victims that are, or from offenders who are incarcerated. Germantown crime cost for 2025 is estimated $667,632, approximately $74 per resident, approximately $190 per household. Miamisburg crime cost is $4,341,454, approximately 116 per resident, approximately 287 per household. That's kind of a comparison on the two cities. So the reason why I brought that up, and I know what you're getting at, 3 out of their 4 locations on this map, which is a crime map, 3 of the 4 locations that they own is in the either high risk or moderate risk for crime. This is all the ones that are highlighted. Here is the post site. It is all A+. There's no,
Right.
you know, so that is the reasoning for the 2 comparisons.
Okay.
I know at first you thought that was an apples and oranges
No,
comparison.
no, but I will say, we reached out to them after you emailed
Mhm.
because we had our zoning, they hadn't come to us. So we reached out and I know Janet had a chance to talk to him.
I did, and I can go over, I guess he supposedly sent some letters to nearby residents,
False.
did not get
Did
any.
not get it.
He hasn't sent them yet.
Before you read
Yep,
that, kind of
Absolutely.
chime in. So basically, there's no, some of your assumptions there is there's no zoning in the township that is tax exempt. It may be Miamisburg being the city, they have different zoning, but there's nothing that's tax exempt in Miami. And
Well, if it's under a nonprofit organization and
that's income tax. That's not, does anything to do with property tax. Anyway, so there are no Liberty Township regulations in our zoning.
now,
Not now, no. There was a push to
Right.
put some of those in there, but again,
Right.
most of our residents don't want to be so regulated.
Right.
I think it's unfair to compare crime rates with Miamisburg to say it is due to the presence of His Hope facilities. Even though you're showing us the maps with the colored pictures where crime is occurring, that doesn't have anything to do with His Hope. It just happens to be where they are. So I can't agree with some of your assumptions here. I don't think it's fair to them. Let's again, I'll have Janet read the letter that she's going to send out and this same information occurred on Facebook.
well, before I interject there, he did make a comment that he wanted to be a good steward of the neighborhood and build trust with the neighbors. They've been here for 2 years. And I reached out to all of you and all of you said you have no clue anything about it. So they kind of come in and set up shop without even notifying the trustees of, hey, what should we do? What do we need to do? Is there anything we need to do? Like I said, they've been here for 2 years and they have not reached out to one resident at all.
Well, I don't think there was anything as far as him building anything as far as zoning, so they really wouldn't have to reach out to us.
Now, if they want to put in cabins and stuff, they would have to go through zoning, but if the
Sure.
property as it sits, if they have people come out and work on it,
Right.
we can't
Right.
limit what they do in that regard to the property. Anybody can come work on anybody's property. That's not, now, if they want to start putting in a facility or cabins, that's where it would go through zoning, which it has not done yet.
No.
And he's not applied or has even started any process on that. So
Anything, it's.
At least that's what he said.
The day cab, where in the hill,
Right.
explain this. So it's not a whole.
Yeah, I read the after he did put something on Facebook of an explanation of what their plans was, but it seems like their approach has been totally different than what they're saying.
Well, we can only go what he says. It's not totally different. I live on Stiver right near Daniels Peace Park. They have things down there all the time.
Right.
It's just, it's not anything wrong with it. It's just, that's the way it is. So if you could read that letter, I think it'll explain a lot to the people in the audience that maybe,
You want to read the letter or his plan?
either one.
Read the plan. It says His Hope Recovery and Retreatment Farm Plans, our mission and vision, offering His Hope to and through people impacted by addiction. Our vision is to become a community overflowing with His hope into families, churches, workplaces, and the community as a whole. The need. Montgomery County has faced some of the highest overdose death rates in the nation. Ohio's overdose deaths increased 400% between 2000 and 2020. In 2023, over 112,000 Americans died from overdoses. Research shows long-term recovery sustained through community purpose and safe places where people can hear. And the farm's role, the Recovery Retreat Farm is one way His Hope lives out its mission by creating a place for agricultural learning, outdoor wellness, and reflection. The farm becomes both a touch point for healing and a visible expression of recovery in the community. What they do there, grow flowers, vegetables, fruit, and manage woodlands and native habitats. Provide small group retreats, peer support, and wellness activities. Offer trails, quiet, rest areas, and opportunities to serve through farm work. Partner with churches, employers, and community agencies to connect resources. Community impact. The farm supports people in long-term recovery and ministry partners by giving them space to grow spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Farm-based activities promote wellness and purpose, while partnerships make recovery visible and accessible to the whole community. And then good neighbor commitment. We will be a responsible neighbor, maintaining a beautiful farm environment, caring for the land, and welcoming community participation. So that's what he sent to me, and I can pass that out. I also have a letter that it was the same one that was on Facebook, for the neighbors, that he said he was going to. Do you want me to read it too? Okay. Says, dear neighbor, my name is Rusty Toadvine, and I want to personally introduce the His Hope Recovery and Retreat Farm at 14481 Anthony Road. We've owned the property since the end of 23 and have spent this time cleaning it up, maintaining the land, and preparing it for future agricultural use. Our aim is to honor God, care for the property, and be good neighbors. His Hope is a Christ-centered recovery ministry that serves men and women impacted by addiction. The farm provides a peaceful place for wellness, reflection, and connection through outdoor and faith-based activities. We've begun hosting day retreats for pastors and community leaders to rest, reflect, and renew. We believe that healthy leaders build healthy communities, and healthy communities create safer, more supportive environments where people in recovery can thrive. Farm will also provide opportunities for people to work with their hands, learn about farming, and experience the benefits of purposeful, hands-on activity as part of healing and community life. To be clear, we do not have plans to operate a residential rehab facility on this farm. While some have asked about this, our focus is on retreats, outdoor wellness, farm-based learning, and community connection, not residential treatment. Any future buildings will go through all proper zoning and permitted processes before construction. We take pride in being good neighbors and responsible stewards. Every activity at the farm is designed to take care of the land, honor God, and contribute positively to our community. If you have any questions or would like to learn more about how you can be a part of this life-changing ministry, please do not hesitate to give us a call. And he left his phone number.
And I did reach out and did not get any response. I asked him if he planned on in the future to do a residential facility. And I asked him how many of the patients that he currently have are from Germantown or German Township. And I didn't get a reply or response to either of those questions.
So until something changes or they pursue something there's nothing we can do.
Well, I just thought that, because like I said, they've been here for 2 years, in and out activity and whatnot. And then, like I said, one of their actual people that was working there said, oh yeah, this is their plans in the future, blah, 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 whatever. And then that's when I had reached out to say, hey, do you know anything about this? And then, all of you said no. First we've heard of it.
Yep.
So
For them to do anything, they would have to go through the zoning process.
Correct.
There would be a hearing and all that.
Right.
So.
And your property is right across the road from the entrance. You're our ears and eyes if you notice something that you think maybe shouldn't be going on. But
Yeah.
right now, it's certainly, you got to take him at his word. It's certainly probably a good.
Well, like I said, it was more for awareness than anything,
Exactly.
because they've been here for 2 years and no one knew a word. No one knew anything about it at all. Right.
So that's not our call.
Right.
It's this time. So
Well,
we
like-
appreciate you getting.
Like I said, it was more for awareness
Exactly.
than anything else, just to bring the community aware of
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
Absolutely. We'll
Well,
appreciate
thank
it.
you for bringing it to us. And then if we hear anything, we've got your email address too, so we can pass that information along as well.
All right.
Does anybody else here have anything extra to add? What he, or just raise your hand. Is that why you're here for the, his hands?
Thanks for your time.
Okay.
Mhm.
Same comments? Okay, okay. Does anybody else have extra to add to it before we move on to the next? Just come up and state your name for the record.
My name's Troy Fox. My understanding was it sounded like it was going to be a residential facility, so we kind of wanted to get some more information on what that was going to be because we live in really close proximity to that
Yep.
property. I just would like to maybe make some points. I deal at my job. I deal with a lot of. I'm going to kind of know where he's not going for residential facility, but gives for some information, for some insight in the future if it does come to this. I deal with a lot of halfway houses, residential facilities, a lot of them being voluntary facilities at my job. And something to think about is a lot of those people are bouncing couch to couch, home to home. A lot of them are homeless. And I would like for those people to get help. The fact is a lot of those people, they get fed up with the process and they don't follow through with that stuff. So a lot of, I think, our concern with being in that vicinity, if it were to get to that point, is people deciding, like, I don't want to complete this program, not having a place to go. Then where do they go? There's barns, there's farms, there's the metro park. There's other places that they're going to lead to that they might stay or go on somebody's property, go find a barn, stay in a barn.
There's no easy way out of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I think that's another concern that some people have if it were to go into that. But I did not get a chance to hear that letter or anything like that. So we just came to kind of get educated and maybe throw that point in there because that's something a lot of people don't think about.
Absolutely.
They don't get to see that side of things. Like I said, I really hope that a lot of those people that go through these programs do get the help that they need. I just don't know. There's a lot of times it's not very effective and
Right.
we don't feel so safe with having that around our properties.
That's fair.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Anyone wants a copy of this letter?
Yeah, we can make copies of
Yeah,
it.
I mean, I have copies if you want a copy of it. I mean, I'll make-
Any other comments on this one? All right, the last thing we'll talk about is the court ruling with SRM. Did you have anything you wanted to start with on that?
We can start with comments.
Okay. Anybody would like to start with visitor comments on the SRM?
I do want to make one. This is not a zoning meeting. This is a general meeting for the trustees. So whoever said that this is a zoning meeting got it wrong.
And there's no decision can or will, it's not in our, we're here to listen, but there's nothing we can do tonight to for or against or in any certain, this is.
There's no rezoning up for this property or anything like that at all.
Yeah.
So again, someone put that out on Facebook and it is untrue.
So if anybody would like to comment on SRM, you're more than welcome to come up and state your name for the record.
My name's Kim Schmarter. I live on Wind Dancer. So what is going on with SRM? I mean, what's the deal?
I basically got a quick overview of SRM materials versus German Township. Okay,
So I'll start with the BZA turned them down.
What's easy? I
The
don't,
Board of Zoning Appeals turned them
Okay.
down. They appealed it. We won. They appealed it again. I think is that where we're at or is there a third step?
that is where we are.
That's where we are right now. So
Yeah, that's what I
current,
was gonna go through.
okay, then I'll let him go from there. He's got
Yes,
more information.
These are the highlights. I don't have to go through everything. If you want to learn about this entire court case, you go to Montgomery County, one word, PROV.3. It will give you the entire both cases.
yeah.
You just have to, you go to that and then you'll get a page where you have a disclaimer. You have to check that. And then off to the left, what you want to go to, you just put SRM materials in that space, go down and then search. And it will come up with all the documents from both cases. So Montgomery County, PROV.3. Well, it's all the courts, yeah.
And if you just Google Montgomery County Pro System, it'll come up link or Montgomery County Court Records.
Right, yeah, exactly. So there's some controversy that shouldn't be all public, but it is. So the whole thing. So basically, let me go over this. So 3/12/2024 conditional use hearing for SRM materials to extract sand and gravel on parcels in German Township. So that was brought before the Board of Zoning Appeals. So basically, the property is agricultural property, but they can get a conditional use for gravel extraction. So it is conditional use. Conditional use just means that it has to go through the BZA to approve that, to get that conditional use. There's several conditional uses, churches, schools, whatever. So anyway, so that's 3/12/49/24, notice of administrative appeal filed with the Montgomery Court of Common Pleas by SRM. So 2/16/2025, many months, this is an entry in order affirming the BZA decision by the Common Pleas Court. So the SRM challenged the BZA's ruling, went to the Common Pleas Court, and then the Common Pleas Court agreed with the BZA that it was the proper decision. So that was 2/16/2025, 3/17/2025, the notice of appeal filed to the Second District Court of Appeals. So coming today, 10/3/2025, final judgment, entry and opinion filed, judgment of the trial court is reversed and remanded for further proceedings. So basically, yeah, it's certainly not all rosy. Like you say, there's no, they're not trying to change zoning. SRM has just went back to the next level of appeals court, which again is I had that written down somewhere.
Second Court of Appeals, I believe you said.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, so that's where it stands. So
more or less money is talking. What do they have?
We need to know who's talking.
Can you state your name for the record?
Sorry, I'm Derek Snyder. I'm on a property on that part.
Okay. No, you're good. No,
Can you come up front so we can actually get it recorded?
Yeah, sure.
yeah, just repeat it so the microphone's picking up.
Derek Snyder, I'm on a property on Eckhart. It's not owned by me. I'm trying to get the property by all means, but I'm there. I love the property. I just see a lot of issues with water contamination on the wells out there with the people that are out there, and I'm just destroying the land.
Yeah, we're all on the same-
I'm sure everybody's on the same page. I'm sure.
we're all on the same
I just,
side too. It's just,
So it's like they just swept under the rug on us and just.
well, they lost their first appeal. They appealed it again. So they were going to take it as far.
Yeah. So we have no permanence from that second appeal though yet. When will that be?
no, it's a done deal. I mean, they affirm that. So basically, I have been in contact with our legal representative that covers the township. One question I had twice is, can we appeal this up? The next appeal is up to the Ohio Supreme Court. I'm kind of waiting to see if she gets back to us, if the trustees can do anything, but otherwise it would have to go back. Now, to answer your question, no, it isn't done. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. The court basically has said that it needs to go back to the BZA, and the BZA needs to make another decision on that. Unfortunately, it seems like the BZA, they can put restrictions on what goes on there as far as, sound and, buttressing as far as.
That was another thing I was wondering, is sound. I live right next to the pit right now where they're.
However, from what I understand, and this is, again, I am not a lawyer, and I try to, it's kind of difficult to, even if you look at the judgment. From what I understand, they can put restrictions on that property as far as around the extraction, but in the process, they have to approve it. So the next level of appeal would be at the Ohio Supreme Court. Now, I don't know if that's reasonable. Basically, because if you read the decision by the second appeals court, they referred to an Ohio Supreme Court decision. So that's why it makes it difficult. I wish I had better news, I say, but that's, and that's, and I don't want to say something that's wrong. It's it's kind of, when you read the case, it's kind of confusing, to me. I'm not a stupid guy, but again, and then basically it seems like they reversed the case, but because and don't take, this is just my interpretation, because the BZA applied general standards to its decision without specifically addressing public health and safety issues, which most of the issues that you all brought up.
Is there anything as a community that we can do to try to help against this, as far as sending letters, anything like that? Is there anything?
That's not going to help.
Open state. Can I speak? Because I have a solution.
We need to have.
Yeah.
Thank you.
State your name for the record.
Yeah, my name's Jim Rowland, 10021 Carlisle Pike. I got on and looked at the ORC code. Section 51902 says Board of Township Trustees may regulate location, size, use, buildings, lands in unincorporated territories. You go down to Section 8, Paragraph 2. The Board of Trustees may regulate under the authority conferred by this section only in the interest of public health and safety. A zoning resolution authorized under this section shall provide for the activities that are permitted and regulated under Chapter 1514 of the revised code. Then I go to 1514. 1514, it says other surface mining. It says a surface mining means any part of a process followed in the production of minerals from the earth or the surface of the land by surface evacuation or excavation methods such as open pit mining, dredging, plastering, or quarrying, and includes the removal of overburden for the purpose of determining the location, quantity, and quality of material. And then you go down to 1514.023, and it says zoning resolutions or ordinances. It says nothing in this chapter or rules adopted under it shall be construed to prevent any county, township, or municipal from enacting, adopting, or enforcing zoning resolutions or ordinances. So as that's just the law. That's all I read to you was the law right there. So we have addressed our solar panel issues. My request to you, and you can do this because I just told you at the law, you have the ability to do this as trustees. I'm asking that today that the trustees put up a resolution to put a 6-month moratorium on any new surface mining in the township to provide time to draft and adopt rules for surface mining that match what we want for our community. So there is something we could do, and that's it.
Well, the court was pretty specific on where this goes next. It said nothing about the trustees. So,
but this is from the ORC as what you're allowed to do as trustees. And you did this with solar panels. And we've been through this for the last 25 years with surface mining in our community. And so you have the right, according to ORC, to do that. You did it with solar panels. You can do it with this and apply it to any new surface mining. And I'm asking that you do that as trustees because you have, according to ORC and the codes that I read to you, you have the ability and you are allowed to do that as trustees.
We would have to go through.
well, we are not above the law. I mean, the law is.
No, that law says you can do that.
Well, we have two legal representations, the one that's representing this for these cases and our legal representative.
Again, though, we can still put this in place. They can fight and say, maybe that's not a new one. This could prevent us from having to deal with this ever again after this.
I mean, that
Because,
may be something once this is settled, but yeah. So,
well, when you say once, I've been doing this, like I said, I've been dealing with this issue for over 25 years. Finally have a way to address it. You did it with solar farms. I don't understand why you're not willing to do it with the surface mining, which ORC says you guys have the legitimate right to do.
Well, we also had to work with the prosecutor's office to draft and come up with that.
That's why you put it a 6-month moratorium, which is exactly what you did for
We
the.
can work with the prosecutor's office to come up with that. So if that's the case, we can work with the prosecutor's office, but it will be next month.
Well, my ask is, are you willing to do that? And next meeting, put this in place because this is going to be a continuing problem for our community. It has been 62 years I've lived here. And for the last over 25 years, we've been dealing with this. And it's the same stuff over and over and over. And you have the ability underneath of ORC code to put regulations in place on this stuff. Yet rather than, right now, they're trying to work under the regulations that we have in place. Obviously, we don't have in place what we need to have in place, and we are allowed to do that. So my request is that if you can't do it tonight,
Yeah, we can look.
that you'll have it in place and do it at the next meeting.
We'll have to talk to the prosecutor.
We have to talk, because it opens us up for liability. If we do something wrong, then they're gonna sue us and we
Well,
can't defend, not us, but Township, and that affects all of us. I mean,
That's fine, but I'm sure the township would be rather fight that battle as to fight this battle with the.
Also, it comes back, I think it's Senate Bill 58 or House Bill 58, and this was in an Ohio Township Association newsletter a few years back. You have to, extraction of minerals has to be a conditionally or permitted use.
That's not according to ORC, our OC
This
code.
was a couple of years ago, so it's much more recent than the ORC.
But
Jim, I can see your point.
No,
We can't go against it.
I don't see how you can't follow what the ORC says,
The
which is Ohio Revised Code.
solar was different because there wasn't any solar farms, up and running or, adjacent things.
Well, there was solar up and running in the community. It might not have been farmed, but people had solar in the
But not-
community.
not what we,
industrial.
not industrial. That's what we put a moratorium on.
So,
Not personal.
but to me, it's like you're kicking the can down the road again.
I don't think
I
we're doing
mean,
that at all.
but I just mean, I understand if you need to look at it but I would like the commitment from you guys that next month, that would come up, that there's either a legal reason why you can't do it or that it's put in place.
That's up to the prosecutor.
Appreciate it. Anybody else have comments on SRM? Yep, just state your name, just come up, state your name for the record.
Sonia Abbey, 8111 Starry Night Drive. So I think he hit on a very good point. The point that kind of we're all concerned with is that we're trying to figure out how to protect our community from something that is against what the community has established as their best interest.
Correct.
And SRM has shown that they have the money to keep coming back and appealing, because you guys have decided on this several times, said no, and they're finding a way around that.
Yes.
And so all we're looking for is, yes, to find a route to change the laws or do something so that we can protect our community from this being a repeat
Yep.
thing.
And that's 100% reasonable, but we can't act on it tonight without
Oh,
talking to them.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, we just want to say that we want you guys to look into it.
Yep, absolutely.
Because
No, we don't want
it
it.
sounds like,
I don't want it.
it's like talking to the right people, talking to your resources, finding somebody who can help support you guys, find a way
Yeah.
to do this so that we can
We've
protect the
been fighting
community.
that
Okay.
all along.
Yes, exactly.
Zoning of appeals.
And it's taking a lot of your time and resources to repeatedly fight this. Yeah, it would be nice to find a solution that we don't have to do this every other year.
100% right.
Yeah.
100% right. So, we'll look into what we can do. We have to, Montgomery County Prosecutor is our legal representation, so we have to go through them. So.
Absolutely. Well, no, I just appreciate you looking into that because,
Absolutely.
okay.
Thank you.
your name again, please.
Sonia Abbey.
All right, any other comments on SRM before we get into the regulars? Yep. Just state your name for the record.
My name is Michael Osborne, actually on the property farm that abuts where they're going to, right there on 10,008 Carlisle Pike. I do want to thank you for the work you've done. I know it requires a lot of resources to continually fight this. And when, the township has very limited resources like we all do. So I certainly appreciate the work. And as you are, more than aware of that, as our voice, I, want to echo what everyone said to empower you to continue to try to find every way possible to protect what we have been fighting for all these years. It's not going to change because we all know we live on a marine base and the gravel's not going anywhere unless people like SRM are allowed to dig it up and dredge it off on truck alone and sell it. So we do need to find a way to handle this legally and competently so that we can stop this. Other areas have done this. There have been areas that are moraine based that have good restrictions in place that they have put there that allow for, the townships to grow, but to do it in a sensible way that we're not allowing, the land that's been here for 2,000 years to be dug up, raped, and sold off one dump truck a lot. And so all we're stuck with is a big hole in the ground.
Correct. Yep.
We appreciate your work. Please stay
Right.
at it.
Thank you. Any other comments before we move into the regular business meeting? Yes, sir. State your, yeah.
83rd Farmington Road.
Sorry.
Earl Burgett. Urgett. I read all that. The BZA says that if we prove health and safety, I believe the driveway they're wanting is right at the bottom of the hill on first on Farmington. So trucks coming out on that road right at the bottom of that hill could be unsafe. The other thing is, I wanted everyone to know that they will purchase the land in 2 weeks. They already bought it. So they will be owning it, and then that gives them a chance to change the zone. So that's all I'm here to let everybody know that, and they did go ahead and buy it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments on the SRM? Are there any other comments that didn't relate to the first three topics that anybody would like to address tonight? All right, I'm going to have a 5-minute break in case anybody wants to leave before we get into the regular business meeting. And I'm going to go get a drink real quick, but you're more than welcome to stay, but you don't have to.
If you haven't signed one of the sheets at the podium, would you please do so before you leave? Thank you very much.
Open the drinks.
Will the zone, if the zone meeting moved one day to tomorrow?
No, there is no zoning meeting scheduled.
If the zone meeting scheduled, got month one because of the holiday? Or SJ there.
There is not a. Right, yeah. Yeah, it's every other month.
Doing good. How's Reese?
Reese is good.
Good. I think Caleb. I was like prepared for festivals. I think Caleb still keeps up with Reese a lot.
We got an issue.
Right, but it made it.
Yeah, trying.
I know that.
Yeah. I started. Sugar and coffee. Yeah, I think Mac is our best. I'll try it. Yeah. We'll try it. Well.
That's one thing to say.
Because we're all on wells out there.
Like, that's the only thing we have.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let me start over. 8:01, we'll resume, and I'll turn it over for the fiscal officer's report.
Good evening, everyone, again. I'll just get started. First thing I've done is given you the minutes from the September 8th regular meeting and the September 20th special meeting. Are there any corrections?
I'll make a motion to approve both as submitted.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. I've also given you the September financial reports. As always, you have the fund status as of September 30th, the year-to-date cash summary by fund through September 30th, the month of September cash summary by fund, the September receipts, and the September payments. I want to highlight several items. First of all, receipt number 277 for $38,460.23 from Valley View Local School District is the first of two payments for the 2025-2026 School Resource Officer Services. Receipt number 279 for $535,850.27, less collection and other fees of $10,485.77 from the Montgomery County Auditor is the final settlement for the second half real estate taxes. I've not yet received the state's second half homestead and rollback tax payment. Once I do receive that, I will then pay the city of Germantown their share of the road levy tax collections and also 90% of tax collections of the 5 joint levies we have with them, less related expenses. And final receipt is number 284 for $3,098.93. And that came from the German Township Police Association. It's a 25% grant for the purchase of 9 new Safariland. I didn't butcher it too badly.
That was close.
Safariland bullet-resistant vests and carriers. And several vouchers. Number 756 for $12,636.08. The Crickmore Collision is for cruiser collision and mechanical repairs. As you know, we've had a couple of cruiser accidents this year. Voucher number 757 for $2,500 to PEX Restorations Unlimited is for the road room floor resurfacing, which we noted last month looks great along with the walls that Chief Birch painted. Voucher number 758 for $900 to Mike White is for painting the men's and women's restrooms. And the final one is voucher number 796 for $13,313.30 to Vance Law Enforcement. And that is for the purchase of those 9 Safariland bullet-resistant vests and carriers. Any questions about the financials? Can I get a motion to approve them, the September financial reports, and also authorize the payment of September bills?
I would like to make a motion to approve the September payments and warrants 50896 through 50900 and vouchers 745 through 826 for payroll, direct deposit, tax withholdings, and other electronic payments.
Second. You got it, Lou.
He beat you to it, Dr. Cross. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much. Okay, we've been informed that Aaron Willis, which is not the Aaron Willis that lives in our township, but he is with the Otarma Cyber IT Risk Consultant. He will be making a follow-up visit to the township on October 24th. He last visited the township back in March of 2021. And following that visit, he presented several recommendations to reduce the township's internal IT risk and loss exposure. Following that, in April of 2021, I responded on behalf of the trustees at the time with the township statement of action taken. So when Mr. Willis comes on October 24th, he will focus on 5 main areas. 1, township demographics and organizational structure. 2, IT assets, including hardware and software. 3, IT operations and procedures. 4, existing IT policies and risk management practices. And finally, the status for us of House Bill 96 and the steps the township has taken toward compliance with the new cybersecurity requirements. So I've asked Mr. Holbrook, Ms. Close, Mrs. Burton, to all be present for Mr. Willis's meeting. You trustees, as well as Chief Birch, are also welcome to attend if you are interested. I think, Dr. Cross, you already are planning to attend.
When is it?
The
24th.
24th.
10 a.m.
I sent you an email about it. And talking about HB 96 and the cybersecurity requirements. Since last month's meeting, we have received further guidance from both the Ohio Auditor of State and the Ohio Township Association. The OTA provided sample templates for a cybersecurity policy, an executive summary, and a resolution to approve both documents. But the OTA cautions us not to use these templates as they were written, but to modify them to reflect our specific situation as a smaller township. I asked Chief Birch and Ms. Close to forward that policy and executive summary, those templates, to the township's IT consultant, Joe Dietrich, for his thoughts on what needs to be modified for our purposes. Once we get Joe Dietrich's response and he finishes his review, I will then ask the prosecutor's office to review the documents. So at last month's meeting, Dr. Cross and I talked about that Sean Waldman, the CEO of Secure Cyber, which is a Moraine cyber consulting firm, he presented a program on HB 96 at the August Montgomery County Township Association meeting. Since that time, we've also been contacted by another company, by an Ian Platcott of Donald and McCarthy Enterprises, who would like to also make a presentation to the trustees about how his firm could assist the township in meeting the HB 96 requirements. Now, last month, you asked me to request that Mr. Waldman of Secure Cyber attend our October meeting. But because we were expecting a large crowd tonight, which would take some time, Mr. Stubbs asked me to hold off on that, and we'll delay one or both of those gentlemen to maybe a future meeting, maybe next month or whatever works out.
Next month would be great if they are available.
Not sure we want them both at the same meeting, but
One in November, one in December. That's
probably
fine.
that would work. And all that being said, we already are past due, but we did not realize, well, let me back up even more. We originally thought that all the townships have until June 30 of next year to put a program in place. We now understand that the June 30 deadline is the second of two deadlines. We do have until June 30 to implement technical and training measures, but HB 96 requires all townships to adopt a cybersecurity policy by September 30th of this year, which of course is behind us. So anytime after 9/30 of this year, we are not allowed to pay or comply with any ransom demands unless a resolution is passed by the trustees approving that payment and or to comply with any ransom demands. I'm sorry, to approve that payment or any compliance. Also, as of September 30, we're now required to report any ransomware incident that takes place to the Ohio Department of Public Safety's Division of Homeland Security and also to the Auditor of State. So we are not in a position to be able to adopt that cybersecurity policy at this moment in time. So we are out of compliance with the first state. So I'm not sure how we move forward other than to try to get some feedback on the templates and schedule some presentations.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have a better idea.
That's how we need to move forward, in my opinion.
Yeah, unfortunately, just can't snap your fingers and have a policy in place. So, yeah.
And if we get dinged next year at the audit that we didn't have it done by September 30, so be it.
What are you gonna do?
They didn't pass that budget until August.
Well, I think it's unfair because a lot of small townships don't have, entire departments that can deal with that.
Yep.
Miami or something. Yeah. So.
Exactly so. Okay, moving on. Since last month's meeting, we've received 2 requests to use the trustee meeting room for private events. The first request was made by a township employee, and Mr. Stubbs approved that. The second request was made by someone that I assume is a township resident, but did not give their address. Now, to my knowledge, we don't have a formal policy or price structure for such request of using this room. So, however, we do have a release form that was used for the employee who's going to be using the room later this week. So I'm not sure how we want to respond to this second request, whether we want to throw something together tonight. I know one question Mr. Stubbs has: if we rent out the room and something should happen, would our insurance protect us?
Right.
And although I can't be certain that would be the case without contacting our OTARMA, our insurer, I think that we would be covered.
I'm really not comfortable with renting out this space to a non-employee, period. I don't think they've got the senior center down there if they want a space. I don't think we should be renting this out. If a resident wants to use this for a meeting or whatever, but who knows what could happen at a party. They go in here and mess things up and, we just.
Yeah, we're not an event center.
Yeah, we're not an event center. I don't know when they made the request, but I would just say, our policy is that we don't.
Well, then you've got the wear and tear on the furniture.
Well, yeah.
And cleaning and all the other
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't, if they messed up, you have to.
So,
I think you ought to do it so the road department has more to do, but.
But I don't think I think it's fine for employees.
I agree. I
But
think for
for
employees, because they have some skin in the game. Somebody, just a resident. Why?
This is not a very big room.
Well,
I mean, if there were-
it's.
Push the revenue to the senior citizen anyway.
Well, exactly. Yeah, they've got the senior citizen, that's what they're doing down there, is renting the space for parties or whatever. It's a get together. So.
Thank you. I think I have my answer. I will advise this person that cannot happen. Okay, next subject. So after the special meeting last month where you approved the 3% video service provider fee, I did forward your resolution to Hanson Communications, also known as TSC, and I also sent it to Alta Fiber. I've not yet been able to contact AT&T because it's a huge organization, and I haven't yet found the right person who should receive a copy of your resolution. I'll keep working on that. But both Hanson, TSC, and Alta Fiber indicate that they would be implementing the 3% fee in the very near future. And of course, as you know, Charter Communication is already collecting the 3% fee for us and has for many years. My monthly reminder that we need to have our web content and mobile applications compliant with new Department of Justice disability accessibility requirements by April of 2027. And
We'll have to go with a different company than the cemetery did. So there's one that the OTA has as on their website. And then I frequently receive emails from 2 others. So I'll reach out to them. The one from the OTA.
The mailing list.
And the one from the one that mails us.
It is
emails
from
all the
mailing.
time.
It's really personal, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it always makes me nervous to even click on them when they do that. So I'll look into I've looked up the one, but I'll reach out. But the cemetery one's not going to be an option for that. Completely different skill set in what they do.
okay, excellent. Thank you very much for pursuing that. And the last thing I want to say is a reminder to anyone listening and in the room we will have two parks levies on the November 4th ballot. The first levy, issue 17, is a 5-year renewal of our current half-mil parks operating levy that would begin in 2026. The second levy, issue 18, is a 5-year additional 1.0 mil permanent improvement levy, and that would begin in 2025. And both levies will be considered by residents of the unincorporated portion of German Township, as well as the residents of the city of Germantown. And with that, I am done. Thank you.
I'm going to get a little out of order tonight since we're going long. Mr. Keener, would you like to make a JED update now, or would you want to?
I'll wait till.
Okay, all right. I've just given you the opportunity. We'll go ahead and move on to Chief Birch's report.
I will be as quick as possible. This month, this past month, our officers drove 7,619 miles. They're dispatched on 109 calls. Cases closed were 107. Case follow-ups, 24. Arrests, 1. Business checks, 513. Vacant house checks or vacation house checks, 89. Occupied house checks, 1,185. We had 6 crashes, 58 traffic stops, and 26 citations. To expand a little bit on what Mr. Heaston spoke of in the financials a little bit earlier, the police department received new state-of-the-art Safari Land body armor and external vests, of which 75% was paid for by a state grant and 25% was paid out of a $10,000 donation by the Eagles earlier this year. So the total of 13,000 and some change, there were no tax dollars used on the purchase of those vests. So we were able to pay for that completely on a grant and the donation. So pretty excited about that. And all the officers are very well protected now with the new vests. We had to cancel National Night Out this last week due to weather. Unfortunately, that's a good time every year, but we'll try again next year. Same time frame and same place. And then one point that I wanted to bring up about Sergeant Jones. On September 27th, 2025, while off-duty, Sergeant Jones encountered a serious motor vehicle crash involving an elderly female who was trapped inside her vehicle. Demonstrating courage and selfless dedication, he immediately took action, freeing the victim from the entrapped vehicle and ensuring her safety until emergency responders arrived. Sergeant Jones' quick thinking and decisive actions undoubtedly prevented further harm and exemplify the highest traditions of law enforcement services. His conduct reflects great credit upon himself and brings honor to the German Township Police Department. It should be noted that German Township residents and former road department employees, Scott Hall, who I saw earlier here, also assisted Sergeant Jones during this rescue. Sergeant Jones was awarded with a commendation citation, which was placed in his file. So,
All right, well, please pass on our thanks to him as well. All right, thank you for your report. And this is 2 years in a row you've had horrible weather for that.
yeah,
The
we
very end of last year's.
Yeah, the very end of last year's, we got it in before the weather
Yeah.
hit last year.
So,
We'll try again next year and hope for good weather.
sounds good. All right, we will move on to the road report.
I'll just try to make it quick. First item on my report is, as you're all aware, Wagner finished their chip sealing in German Township. They did submit an invoice for that, and I promptly returned an email saying once the roads are swept to our satisfaction, that I'd be more than happy to submit that for payment. So hopefully that gets them motivated to do the sweeping that's required. Second item is, several months ago, I applied for a Ohio Department of Transportation sign grant to replace all of the aluminum signs within the township, and was notified that we were awarded that grant for $27,945.81. So those signs have been ordered and at no cost to German Township, and hoping they're delivered by the end of the year. I'm not sure how long they could get, but, so we're required to replace our signs once every, I think it's 12 years, or when the reflectivity drops below a certain level. We don't have a reflectometer, so best bet is to do them by time and not by liquid. So, item 3, yes.
By a resident, at the bottom of the Siegel Hill, the stop sign, there at the Dr. Laws. He sent me a video. He sees people coming down the hill and just running a stop sign on his camera, and he sees it often. And I was just wondering about, maybe a flashing stop sign. Don't like solar.
Those are very expensive and they're kind of maintenance intensive, you know. I'd say the first thing to do would be to double up, put a stop sign on both sides. I mean, there's a stop ahead sign there, stop sign at the bottom of the hill. They're all visible. I think it's more of an issue of people running the stop sign.
Ignoring them, yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, I've seen it myself. They come down, they look right, and they just, you know, as long, because, you know, as they're coming down the hill, they're looking at oncoming traffic and there is none, then all they have to do is look right. Just, so, I mean,
Maybe that's
I would look into doubling up on stop signs first, seeing if that does anything, maybe increase.
That's what I was gonna say, could that be a priority?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do that, especially got more signs coming.
Third item is, I reached out to a couple striping companies to get quotes on striping some of the chip seal that we just have done. EV Road would be one of them, and Puddinbag Road South would be the other one. And I got a quote from A&A Safety for $6,116.96. And I got one from First Star Safety for $5,390.40. This is something that's in the budget, road budget, so I would like to have the board's approval to contract with First Star Safety LLC in the amount of $5,390.40 for the layout and striping of EV Road and South Puddinbag.
We'll do that by resolution. And that would be number 50.
I'll introduce resolution 2025-50, a resolution to contract with
First Star Safety LLC.
First Star Safety LLC in the amount of $5,390.40 to stripe Puddinbag and EV roads.
Second.
Any discussion? I'll call the roll. Mr. Stubbs?
Yes.
Dr. Cross?
Yes.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 2025-50 is adopted.
Thank you. The only other thing I want to report on is Scott and I are continuing to mow the tree limbs along all the township right away. Say we're probably at 50% done, maybe a little more than that. And on that same topic, I wanted to publicly thank Madison Township for letting us borrow their boom mower. That put Scott and us both in a boom mower, and we were able to knock out quite a bit of area, 2 tractors going at once. We did some mowing out on Puddinbag, and we also did some on Mudlick Road. So cut some time out. We also got a chance to use theirs to see the differences, see how it worked. It worked out well, and I wanted to
See more growth into the roads this year?
do what?
You see more growth into the roads that you have to cut down?
You know, we normally do it every year, and we only got about halfway through it last year. We thought, you know, we mow them every year, we'll be okay. That couldn't have been farther from the truth.
Did Butter Street.
Yeah, it went nuts. Yeah, and it looked embarrassing, believe me. But we're working on it, so. Also wanted to publicly thank the city of Germantown for letting us use their hot asphalt box, which we used the other day to do a little bit of patching on Mudlick Road, but they've also let us use it throughout the summer. just been a joy to use. It just, you don't have to be in a rush to get it off. It stays warm, it stays hot, and you do a better job, placing it, acting it. It was a very expensive piece of equipment, and Jonathan and all the guys down there, they bent over backwards to let us borrow it. I wanted to publicly thank them for that. So with that, that's all I have.
All right, thank you for your report.
I think a very brief question.
Yeah,
Amy
just-
Jacoby, Harris Road. Do you have any kind of update from the county on Astoria Road Hill? Have they said anything where they are in the process? Okay.
Okay. I actually talked to somebody today and they asked me the same question, and I said, well, I can reach out to them, but I haven't heard
And,
anything.
they will tell you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's super inconvenient, especially for you guys and anybody out there.
For everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
From our understanding, that if when it slid, if it would have took blacktop, it would have qualified for emergency funds. But since it didn't take the blacktop, it just took the dirt, county has to pay for it out of their budget. So they have to put it in their budget for like next year.
So I'm guessing 2 years is probably not far off.
I would say you're probably.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Wow, one more question. Anything on the dump truck? Have you heard any update on that?
we did, I don't know if I reported that we did hear back.
Last month, yeah.
Last month that we got a schedule.
Yep.
I haven't reached out to Mr. Laley. I can't remember.
Okay.
He was actually the president or the person in charge up there. You know, I was dealing with the salesman before. I haven't reached out to him yet to see if they've actually began.
Okay.
You know, I think they said late September. So.
It's only the middle of October, so.
Hopefully. And I did reach out and tell him, I'm like, look, when this thing goes into production, we want to have like an early production meeting because some things that need to be done a certain way.
Yeah.
And once the truck's done, I don't want to get a call and say, it's done, come pick it up. And all the stuff not be
right
done to our liking.
Right.
But he was like, yeah, he was fine.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your report. Ms. Burton with the zoning report.
Just had 3 different permits come in the last month. A storage barn on Ziegler Road, a barn on Brimmershire Road, and a barn on EB Road. Good. So we've had the last month.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. With that, we'll go ahead and move on to the Board of Trustees report. So Mr. Potter.
I don't have much this time. On the park, the Christmas in the park is going to be December the 13th from 6 to 7:30. Here is the flyers. If you
Thank you.
send that down, give one to Jan so she can put it on our website. The horse parade will be meeting at Dups on Cherry Street at 5:30 for that Christmas in the park. MMI, the brick wall has been completed with the brick wall that the plaques are going to be put on. It's been completed. We put the eagles on the wall this morning. Hope to put the plaques on it here later this week. And speaking of mowing, I talked to Jeremy. We got the same issue down there at MMI where they're walking around where the morals is. He's going to try to help with their mower, to mow around the edge of that. We appreciate that. Little Twin erosion. I got to enter the right-of-way permission form signed by the 2 adjoining property owners. Thanks, Jeremy. He gave me them forms. That butts up to the job. It should start in the next couple of weeks. The contract has been signed. In the pool, the contract has been signed for the new slide, and they should start on that here in the next week or 2.
All right. Sounds good.
All moving along.
All right. Thank you very much. Dr. Cross.
Fire EMS oversight meeting for 10/6/25 was canceled. I attended the 10/6/25 Germantown Council meeting. Highlights were total grants for the covered bridge project are $756,000. The bids will go out 12/2 with construction in 2026. Pool had an income increase of about 12%. During the work session, they discussed going ahead with reducing the speed limit to 25 miles per hour on the residential portion of Cherry Street. Discussed changing the property maintenance violations to civil penalties. I attended the 10-9-25 Senior Center Oversight Committee meeting. The highlights in that: bus trips going well, usually involve lunch and shopping. Currently 255 members, $2,585 in membership fees. There's been a problem with renters of the building not cleaning after their rental. We'll decide by the next meeting whether to increase the deposit to give renters more incentive to clean up thoroughly after their event. The refrigerator freezer needs to be replaced, and the new convection oven and a new convection oven needs to be installed. Both are scheduled to arrive next week. Generator project is moving slowly. The generator is on back order. Donations on behalf of Gerald Emmerich have totaled $1,535. So that was nice for free. Visitor concerns. Those are all stuff we talked about. So basically the SRM is, I did put out an email to our representative. It's Sedgwick, it's not Otari, but to see if, is it worth trying to appeal it up to the Supreme Court. She didn't, the time I talked to her over the phone, she didn't think that was really possible.
Okay.
But so as far as the BZA meeting, she's going to try, the attorney is going to try to meet with the BZA members, have a special meeting, then go into executive session, basically to prepare them for the BZA meeting where the SRM thing is going to come up.
Okay.
So, and she said she would attend that BZA meeting also. So
Okay,
that's good. So, has she talked to you at all, Janet, yet, or?
Yeah, she did. And then I talked to Mallory, and she said that the BZA cannot go into executive session.
They can go into private, and it's not for them. It's actually not executive session because they're semi, judicial. They can go into private deliberations.
Private
Just as
deliberation.
it's called. We call it executive session because in this case, it would be fine because you got the lawyer there. You can go, but it really technically is not executive session, but they can, so when you do that, basically in this situation, you really can't get everybody all back in there, so you just have everybody leave that private session or whatever.
I sent out an email to the BZA members to see what might work. I think the BZA meeting is the 9th, December 9th.
Correct, yeah.
And then she looked at either the 3rd or the 4th having that special meeting
November.
and then going to private deliberations of December.
No, so December, the week before in December, okay.
She said the week before.
Week before the regular meeting.
Yes, that's what she wanted to do it the same night. And I said, I think it would be better if we did that separately
I think it would be.
because I don't know how many people we're gonna get at the December 9th meeting.
Right.
With the BZA going on about SRM.
Yeah.
We might have a room full
Oh,
too.
for sure.
So, she agreed then, and so I sent something out to the BZA members to see whether Wednesday or Thursday would work, because she could do either evening. And they got back to me, but I haven't been at work today.
Okay, so just so are we gonna have a quorum?
I think so.
Sir, yeah, okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Is that all?
That's it.
All right, thank you, Dr. Cross.
Wait, man, just.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, you're good. I just have a few things tonight. First thing I need to do is I need to appoint Jim Martin to the zoning commission. He is coming from the BZA. This is working, his schedule isn't allowing him to be there on the BZA. I believe he was an alternate. So motion.
Motion.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Jim Martin to the zoning commission to fill the vacant seat that was left by Trish Taylor.
Is there a second?
Second. Is that an alternate position or is that the? No.
Is Trish Taylor, she's an alternate. Yeah, he will be an alternate. And he is an alternate on the BZA, so we will have an opening on the BZA. An alternate opening on the BZA. Oh, I'm sorry, zoning commission. No, I said that right the first time. We will have an alternate on the BZA, a position available.
A while back to take an opening on the BCA.
Okay, perfect. We'll reach out to him then. Vote on that one.
Yes. Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Quick cemetery update. A couple months ago, I reported that the flagpole was run into. It's been a bit of a process to get this taken care of and a lot more work than we had anticipated. The concrete base had to be taken out, which was a little bit of a cost that we're working on. So the new flagpole should be installed tomorrow, I believe is the plan. It's a new update. It's the same height, 35 foot like we had before, but it's updated to what we had. And now this one will have a crank on it instead of trying to fit your hand in the door. So.
Want to make a suggestion?
Yes,
This might be a good time to light it.
we are running electric through. Yes, that's being done too.
Supposed to have it lit.
It is now. It is now.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
We do have it lit from the side. I believe the fixture was broken recently. So we've already contacted to get that replaced, but we are running electric to the pole as well. Or at least we're running the conduit to get there to get the electric in. So that is being done. So
I've had some veterans reach out to me whenever ours is out for more than like
yeah.
6 hours at a time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
It's
That's
important.
It is. So it is lit.
Good.
And it's gonna be 35 foot. It's gonna have a hand crank on it. You know, if you go to the Memorial Day or any of the festivities down there when the Boy Scouts can never figure out how to get their hand in there and get it tied off. So that won't be an issue going forward. The total cost on this is gonna be somewhere in the $12,000 range. But we're not paying for it. It was an accident that's being taken care of. So if the company that had the accident doesn't do it, we've already placed a claim with our insurance as well. So one way or the other, it's not gonna come out of our pocket, but between the removal of the old concrete, the new concrete, the new pole, it got pretty pricey. We had to tear up all the concrete to be able to, we tried to get it so we could just slide it. We can't do that. So we had to tear everything out.
Might be better in the long.
It'll be better in the long run. We were just trying to
Save some hassle.
right, save some hassle, and that did not work out. So hopefully that'll be installed tomorrow, and it's been gone for several months at this point. So looking forward to getting it back. A quick website update. The website is live. So if you search on the internet for Germantown Union Cemetery, the website is live, and all of the data migration has been complete. They're just working on the back end. So we're expecting the next couple of months to have it fully up and operational. They're currently mapping it. They're satellite mapping it, which Keith pulled up and showed us tonight, which is actually pretty cool. So you can pull up once they're done and it's live, you'll be able to look on the website and see where the available plots are throughout the entire cemetery. So you can go section by section and see what's available. It'll be I think it's green if it's open. So there'll be certain color. So you'll be able to see and purchase.
Kind of ghoulish.
Yeah, just a little bit. So, but it's actually, they've done a nice job and we're happy that it's moving along. The website's going to be up. It is up, but it'll be fully functional as soon as the rest of the process is taken care of.
I took some time to look at the website
Yeah.
last week. I think it looks great.
Yeah. Yep.
And I'm looking forward to the enhancements.
Oh,
yet to
yeah.
come.
So we're going to be able to, once it's done, we're going to be able to take payments online for someone could purchase a grave. They could purchase services and all that can be done online with a credit card. And take some of the burden off of the office down there. Because if we get requests all the time for people to pay with a credit card, if we don't have the capability. So this is going to allow us to do that. You can pay online, and I believe they'll have a reader in the office as well that they'll be able to swipe a card. So yeah, Keith has done an excellent job. He's been a great hire, and the vision that he's brought to the cemetery, we've definitely stepped up our game in the last couple of years. And he's always looking for ways to be more efficient, which he does, and it's impressive. So greatly appreciate Keith and the job that him and his crew do, and Bob and Pat in the office as well. It's a great team effort. Everybody's working hard. The cemetery looks great. And they're just doing an all around great job. Last update on the cemetery. We've been talking for several months about the removal of the collapsing wall in the sidewalk in front of the building. The cemetery has signed, and then the neighboring property owner has signed, and it's back to the city of Germantown. We're hoping that it goes through with no issues, and then we'll be able to go out to get a company to come and do the work. And we're hoping to have it done this fall still. So by spring, by Memorial Day of next year, it'll hopefully be looking pretty good. Jeremy, do you know off the top of your head what the threshold is for going out to bid for projects? It was 50, didn't it? But we're not gonna be anywhere near that. I just wanted to make sure.
It's gone up, but I don't remember.
Did it go up to 75 or something?
Looking it up.
We're thinking like 10, so.
Oh,
Our
oh,
project,
yeah.
but they wanted me to verify tonight to make sure we were,
But you'll still be better off
to go out to
to
bid.
go out to bid.
Absolutely.
Or at least get multiple pricing. You don't have to go out for bid.
Yeah.
Per se. Just ask for some quotes from several places. That way, if anybody questions the
Yep.
amount of money you spent.
Yep.
Present, kind of like the striping was well under the threshold. but
Oh, yeah,
Get more than one price, and that way you have something compared to.
absolutely. That's it for the cemetery. I would just like to add, thank everybody that came tonight, and it was very reasonable, and I've been to meetings before where it was got out of hand, so appreciate, a lot of them left if you go back and watch online. Thank you to everybody that was cordial and respectful of everybody here tonight, because that's not typically, or not necessarily the case all the time. I'd also like to add, this board has done a great job, and we're getting to the end of our term here, but this has been the best group that I've had to work with in my time here, and I appreciate everyone here. So with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Keener for a JED report. The always exciting JED report.
Your anticipation.
Yes.
Mark Keener, Treasurer, Valley View Joint Economic Development District. Quick update. So the auditors were in last month, and they have issued a preliminary report, which is still confidential, not released. That was October 3rd. They said 2 to 3 weeks they'd release it, but just alleviate any suspense. No financial issues, of course, everything balanced to the penny. They never said a word about the financial statements themselves or the footnotes, so I guess you liked them. So, yep. And the only 2 items of note had to do with timing of filing things that were nobody's fault except trying to get paperwork done at the inception. So, and also filing issue due to lack of communication from the auditor's office about, do we even need to file and do we need an audit? So that was basically it. We did at the last meeting approve $4,000 for a disc golf course at the high school. And I heard today and confirmed with the treasurer at the high school that the board approved the placement of where they're going to put this 9-hole disc golf course at the high school. So since they approved that, I'll be cutting the check for that at some time here in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get it over to Mrs. Cook at the high school and take her up on her offer to give me a tour of the place. Our next meeting is going to be in December, and I have been told that there's a good chance we're going to have a lot of people presenting, asking for money. I said, bring it on. I love to give away other people's money. So,
How much is in the fund now?
There's 40,000 probably still, 25. Well, there's at least 30, and there may still be up to 40. There's quite a bit in there. So.
And you can see all around, like, you guys gave the money to the vans in the trailer.
Yeah.
And you can see definitely where the money's being spent wisely.
Right.
For the kids, for the JED, which is what the spirit of it was to begin with.
Exactly. So the one thing that will be coming up at the December meeting, which will be the Wednesday after whatever Monday we have this meeting here.
It'll be the 10th.
Thank you. Glad you're on top of it.
I wanted to put it in the minutes.
Oh, okay. Appreciate it. Yeah. I have to double check the calendar too, but I'm pretty sure I got it on there. We will be discussing the holdback percentage again, currently at 15. Dr. Cross, if you'd like to come to that meeting again, I don't think this time there's going to be an issue with keeping it at 15 and maybe even bumping it, because assuming that we have a pretty good group come, actually, even without that group, we have pretty well spent everything that was collected this year already. So I think we can, no problem justifying keeping it at 15 and maybe even bumping it to 20 again for next year. So I have an odd feeling based on, and this is just a gut, I think the opposition that we faced last year with 15% from board members and other members, people that showed up. I don't think we're going to have any audience member opposition to that. And I think the board member who was opposing that, based on such positive feedback to him in particular about the money, I think he's going to keep it at that.
Good.
Okay. Well, I will tell you, being in the building, the Stop the Bleed kits have been installed and are all over.
Awesome.
In every room that I've been in. So
That's
the money
great.
you guys gave for that, it's definitely being used. Well, it's already, they're installed and ready to go.
Well, let's just hope we
Hopefully
never need.
never need them, but they are installed.
Oh yeah, the other thing, have you heard anything on the greenhouse?
I have not.
Okay.
I know they were going to go to the Lions and ask for for more of a donation, but I don't know if they've gone.
They have not.
So,
Okay.
I'm not aware of any request.
yep.
Okay.
So I can check with you and get back with you.
Okay, that'd be
Yep.
great. And then just totally as an aside, well, actually two things. Mr. Stubbs, I would just say you guys did a great job with the crowd here tonight. So fortunately, there was no need for Mr. Bateman to hang out too long. I had to laugh standing in the back of the room when Andy walked in.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. This new Safari best. And also, tell Jonesy, way to go. He's, I met him, he was working mostly for free, part-time, and he's impressed me from day one, even as a young guy. So, and that is it for me.
All right, thank you for your
Thank you.
report. All right, before we wrap it up, I hate to ask, are there any other visitor comments tonight? Okay, it is 8:48 and I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? I hope not. We're adjourned at 8:48.
All right.
Store.